I walked into the restaurant alone. My family was already there, seated at a large table in the private dining room, laughing, talking, celebrating something I didn't know about yet. It was Friday night. I just finished a brutal 12-hour shift at the hospital. Emergency room physician. The work was exhausting but rewarding. I'd saved 3 lives today, but all I wanted was a quiet evening at home. Instead, my mother had called that morning. Daniel, family dinner tonight, 7 p.m. Romanos, don't be late. It's important. Mom, I'm working a double shift. I'll be exhausted. This is important. Your sister has news. Be there. So I went, changed out of scrubs into jeans and a button-down, drove across town, arrived at 7:15. 15 minutes late, but close enough. The hostess led me to the private room. I walked in to find my entire family. Mom, Dad, my older sister Vanessa and her husband Troy, my younger brother Marcus, my grandmother, all dressed nicely, all smiling, all looking at me like I'd ruined something. Daniel, finally, my mother stood, kissed my cheek. We've been waiting. Sorry, traffic was bad. Lie, I'd sat in my car for 10 minutes, gathering energy to face them. Well, you're here now. Sit. We have exciting news. I sat at the empty chair, between my brother and grandmother, across from Vanessa and Troy. What's the news? I asked. Vanessa beamed, practically glowing. We're pregnant. 12 weeks. We wanted to tell everyone together. The table erupted. Congratulations. Hugs. Excitement. I smiled, said the right things, but something felt off. Wrong. I couldn't put my finger on what. Dinner was ordered. Wine was poured. Everyone was celebrating, talking about baby names, nursery colors, future plans. I sat quietly, eating, observing, noticing things I'd missed before. The way Troy kept checking his phone. The way Vanessa flinched when he touched her shoulder. The way my parents seemed overly enthusiastic. Forced. Daniel, you're awfully quiet, my father said. Just tired. Long day at work. Always working. Never time for family, my mother added. That familiar guilt trip. I'm here, aren't I? Barely. You look like you'd rather be anywhere else. I'm happy for Vanessa. Really. Just exhausted. Troy spoke up. Must be nice. Having such an important job. Saving lives. Being a hero. His tone was mocking. Sarcastic. It's just a job. Just a job? Come on. You're an ER doctor. That's impressive. Unlike us regular people with regular careers. I didn't mean it like that. Sure you didn't. The tension was palpable. My brother Marcus jumped in. So, Daniel, when are you settling down? Getting married? Having kids? Not sure. Haven't met the right person. You're 34. Clock's ticking. Mom wants grandchildren. Vanessa's providing that. Yeah, but you're the oldest son. You should have been first. I looked at my mother. She was nodding, agreeing. Daniel's career is important to him. Marriage can wait, my father said. At least someone understood. Too important, my mother muttered. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Forget it. Let's focus on the good news. Vanessa's pregnant. That's what matters. But I couldn't let it go. No, say what you mean. Too important. You work constantly. Never visit. Barely call. We only see you at holidays. And even then, you're checking your phone. Taking calls. You're not present. I'm an ER physician. People need me. And your family doesn't? That's not fair. Isn't it? When's the last time you came to Sunday dinner? When's the last time you visited just to visit? Not for a birthday or holiday. Just because. I couldn't remember. Exactly. Your job is more important than us. Always has been. The table went quiet. Everyone stared at their plates. Vanessa broke the silence. Mom, don't start. This is supposed to be a happy night. My mother backed off, but the damage was done. The rest of dinner was awkward. Forced conversation. Fake smiles. I left as soon as dessert was finished. Sorry, early shift tomorrow. Congratulations again, Vanessa. I hugged my sister. She whispered in my ear, "Don't let Mom get to you. You're doing great." I nodded, said goodbye to everyone, drove home, but I couldn't shake the feeling. Something was wrong. Beyond my mother's guilt trips, beyond Troy's sarcasm, beyond the forced celebration, something deeper. I got home at 9:30, poured a glass of whiskey, sat on my couch, replayed the evening in my mind. Troy's behavior stood out. The phone checking, the sarcasm, the way Vanessa reacted to his touch. I'd seen that before. Impatience, domestic violence victims, the flinching, the nervousness, the overcompensation with fake happiness. Was Vanessa being abused? I pulled out my phone, texted her, "Hey, everything okay? You seem tense tonight." 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Finally, a response. "I'm fine. Just pregnancy hormones. Making me emotional. If you need anything, I'm here." "I know. Thanks. Love you. Love you too." I didn't believe her, but I couldn't force it. Not yet. I needed more information, more evidence. The next morning, I called my brother Marcus. He worked from home, freelance graphic designer, usually around. "Hey, what's up?" he answered. "About last night. Did anything seem off to you?" "Off how?" "With Vanessa, with Troy, with the whole situation." "Not really." "Why?" "I don't know. Just a feeling. Mom was harsh, but that's normal. She's always on your case about work." "Not that. Something about Vanessa and Troy. They seemed happy, excited about the baby." "Did they? Or did they seem like they were performing?" Silence. Then, "Now that you mention it, there was something. Troy made a comment after you left." "What comment?" "Said something about Vanessa finally doing something useful, having a kid, contributing to the family." "Contributing? She's a lawyer. She contributes plenty." That's what I thought. But Troy said her job doesn't matter. Being a mother is what matters. That's archaic. Yeah, and when Vanessa disagreed, he shut her down, told her to stop arguing in front of family. She went quiet after that. I thanked Marcus. Hung up. My suspicions were growing. I decided to do something I normally wouldn't. I drove to Vanessa's house, unannounced. Midday Saturday. I knew she'd be home. Troy worked Saturdays. Construction management. Long hours. She wouldn't be alone with. Him. I knocked. Waited. Vanessa answered. Surprised. "Daniel? What are you doing here? Can we talk?" "About what?" "About you. About Troy. About what's really going on." Her face changed. Fear flashed in her eyes. Then composure. "I don't know what you mean. Everything's fine. Vanessa, I'm a doctor. I see trauma every day. I know the signs." "Signs of what?" "Abuse. Control. Manipulation." "That's ridiculous. Troy loves me." "Does he? Or does he control you?" She started to close the door. "You should go. Please, just talk to me. 5 minutes." She hesitated, then opened the door wider. 5 minutes. We sat in her living room. Beautiful house. Perfectly decorated. Nothing out of place. Too perfect. "Talk," she said. "Are you happy?" "Of course I'm happy. I'm having a baby." "That's not what I asked. Are you happy? In your marriage? In your life?" "Yes. Why wouldn't I be?" "Because I saw how you reacted to Troy last night. The flinching, the nervousness, the forced smiles. You're imagining things." "Am I?" "Marcus told me what Troy said after I left. About you finally doing something useful. About your job not matching." Her eyes welled up. "He was joking." "Was he?" "Because it didn't sound like a joke." "Daniel, I appreciate your concern, but you're overreacting. Troy and I are fine. We have our issues like any couple, but we're handling it." "What issues?" "Normal married couple stuff. Money, work schedules, family pressure. Nothing serious. Does he hurt you? What? No, never. Emotionally, verbally, she stood. I think you should leave. You're projecting, seeing problems that don't exist. Vanessa, I said leave. This is my house, my marriage, my life. Stay out of it. I left, but I didn't believe her. Didn't believe everything was fine. I drove home, called the one person I knew could help, my mentor from medical school, Dr. Patricia Hayes. She'd specialized in trauma psychology before switching to emergency medicine. Patricia, I need advice. Family situation. I explained everything. The dinner, the observations, Vanessa's denial. Patricia listened without interrupting. When I finished, she said, Daniel, you're right to be concerned. Those are classic signs. But you can't force someone to admit abuse. They have to come to it themselves. So I do nothing? No. You stay present. Stay available. Let her know you're there when she's ready. And you document everything you observe. Document. Write down dates, times, behaviors. Build a record. If this escalates, if she needs help later, documentation is crucial. Okay, what else? Educate yourself. Research domestic abuse. Understand the patterns. The psychology. So when she does come to you, you're prepared to help effectively. I will. Thank you. And Daniel, be careful. Abusers are dangerous, especially when they feel threatened. If Troy suspects you're onto him, he might escalate, either toward Vanessa or toward you. Noted, I spent the weekend researching, reading articles, case studies, psychology papers, domestic abuse patterns. The information was disturbing, but enlightening. Troy fit the profile perfectly. Isolation. Vanessa had dropped most of her friends after marriage. Financial control. Did Troy control their money? I didn't know, but I'd find out. Verbal abuse. The comment about her job not matching. About finally doing something useful. Classic devaluation. Pregnancy as control. Many abusers push for pregnancy. Lock their partners in. Make leaving harder. Everything clicked into place. But knowing and proving were different things. I needed evidence. Real, undeniable evidence. Monday morning, I called Vanessa's law firm. Asked for her assistant. This is Daniel Wright, Vanessa's brother. I'm trying to reach her, but her cell's off. Is she at the office? No, Dr. Wright. Vanessa called in sick today. Sick? What's wrong? She didn't say. Just that she needed a few days off. A few days? Is everything okay? I really can't say, sir. Patient confidentiality. She's not a patient. She's an employee. I meant client confidentiality. I can't discuss her personal matters. I thanked her. Hung up. Called Vanessa. Straight to voicemail. Texted her. No response. Called Marcus. Have you heard from Vanessa? No. Why? She's not at work. Phone's off. Assistant said she called in sick for a few days. Maybe she's just got morning sickness. Pregnancy stuff. Maybe, or maybe something happened. You think Troy did something? I don't know, but I'm worried. Want me to go check on her? Would you? Yeah, give me an hour. I'll drive over. Call you back. Marcus called back 90 minutes later. Daniel, we have a problem. What happened? I went to Vanessa's house. Knocked. No answer, but her car's in the driveway. I walked around back. Saw her through the window. She's got a black eye, bruised cheek. Looks like she's been crying. My blood went cold. Did you talk to her? Tried. She wouldn't answer the door. Saw me and closed the curtains. We need to call the police. And say what? That we saw bruises through a window? She'll deny it. Say she fell. Protect Troy. Then what do we do? I don't know, but we can't just leave her there. Stay nearby. Make sure Troy doesn't come home. I'm on my way. I left work. Told my supervisor I had a family emergency. Drove to Vanessa's house. Arrived to find Marcus sitting in his car. Watching. Waiting. Any movement? I asked, None. Curtains are still closed. Okay, new plan. We're going in. Breaking in? No. I'm betting she didn't lock the back door. If Troy hit her and left, he might not have thought about security. We walked around back. Tried the door. Unlocked. We entered quietly. Called out, "Vanessa? It's Daniel and Marcus. We're coming in. Don't be scared." We found her in the bedroom, sitting on the floor, back against the bed, face battered, lips split, eyes swollen shut. She looked at us. No surprise, just defeat. "I told you to stay out of it," she whispered. I knelt beside her, examined her injuries. Dr. Mode engaged. "What happened?" I fell. "Don't lie to me. Did Troy do this?" Silence. Then tears. She nodded. "I told him I wanted to keep working after the baby. He said no. That mother stay home." I argued. He got angry. Hit me. First time. I swear it's the first time. "It's never just the first time, Vanessa. You know that." "I know." But I kept pushing, kept arguing. He hit me again. Told me if I didn't learn my place, it would get worse. Marcus was pacing. Angry. Where is he now? Work. He left. So when he comes home, I better have changed my attitude. "You're not staying here," I said. "Pack a bag. You're coming with us." "I can't. He'll find me. He'll be furious." "Let him be furious. You're not safe here. The baby will be safer away from him. Come on. Pack." She resisted at first, then slowly stood, started gathering clothes, toiletries, important documents. We left within 15 minutes. Took her to my apartment, safer than Marcus's place. Troy knew where Marcus lived. Probably didn't know my exact address. At my apartment, I cleaned Vanessa's wounds. Nothing required stitches, but she'd have bruising for weeks. "We need to take photos," I said, "for evidence." "Evidence for what?" "For when you press charges, file for divorce, get a restraining order." "I'm not doing any of that." "Vanessa, I mean it." This was a one-time thing. He was stressed. I pushed him. "It won't happen again." That's what every abuse victim says. Then it happens again, and again, until one day it's too late. "You don't understand. I love him. He loves me. We're having a baby. I can't just leave." "You can, and you should." Marcus agreed. "Vanessa, this is serious. He could have killed you. He didn't. He wouldn't. He just lost his temper. This time, what about next time? When you disagree about something else, when the baby cries too much, when you're exhausted from motherhood." She started crying. "What am I supposed to do? Leave my husband? Raise a baby alone? Become a divorce statistic? Better divorced and alive than married and dead." I said bluntly. She flinched, but I needed her to hear it. Needed her to understand. "I need time to think. Can I stay here tonight?" "You can stay as long as you need." "Just tonight. Then I'll figure things out. Tomorrow we're going to the police, filing a report, getting this documented." "Daniel, no. It's not negotiable. Even if you don't press charges, even if you go back to him, this needs to be on record. For your protection. For the baby's protection." She nodded reluctantly. That evening, Troy called. Vanessa's phone rang. His name lit up the screen. She reached for it. I stopped her. "Don't answer. He'll just keep calling." "Let him. You don't owe him anything right now." The phone rang 8 times. Then stopped. 30 seconds later, it rang again. This continued for an hour. Finally, Troy left a voicemail. I played it on speaker. "Vanessa, where are you?" "I came home." "You're gone. Your car's here, but you're not." "What the hell?" "Call me back. Now. We need to talk about this morning." "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have hit you. But you push me. You know how to push my buttons. Just come home. We'll work it out." The message ended. Vanessa looked at me. "See? He's sorry. He admitted he was wrong. He also blamed you. Said you pushed him. That's not an apology. That's manipulation." Troy called Marcus next. "Marcus, is Vanessa with you?" She's not answering. I'm worried about her. She's fine. She's safe. She's not coming home tonight. What? Why not? What did she tell you? She didn't have to tell me anything. I saw her face. Silence. Then, it was an accident. We had a fight. Things got out of hand. I feel terrible. Good. You should. Can I talk to her? Please. No. Marcus. She's my wife. I have a right. You lost your rights when you hit her. Leave her alone. Let her breathe. I'm coming over there. Don't. I'm not home. And if you show up, I'm calling police. You're all overreacting, making this bigger than it is. A black eye and split lip seem pretty big to me. She fell. Don't insult my intelligence. I know what I saw. Stay away from her. Marcus hung up. Troy tried calling me next. I didn't answer. Let it go to voicemail. Daniel, I know Vanessa's with you. I need to talk to her. This is between me and my wife. Stay out of it. If you don't bring her home, there will be consequences. Consequences. A threat. I saved the voicemail. Forwarded it to my email. Documentation. That night, Vanessa slept in my guest room. Marcus stayed too. On the couch. Just in case Troy figured out where we were. I lay awake. Thinking. Planning. How to protect my sister. How to make sure this didn't escalate. How to convince her to leave permanently. Around 2 a.m., my phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. You think you're helping her. You're not. You're making everything worse. Bring her home, or you'll regret it. I showed Marcus. Troy. Has to be. Threatening you now. Should we call the police? Not yet. He hasn't done anything illegal. Texting isn't a crime. Threatening is. Prove the threat. His wording is vague. Could mean anything. So we just wait? We document. We protect Vanessa. We build a case. Then we act. The next morning, I took Vanessa to the police station. Filed a report. She was hesitant. Embarrassed. But I insisted. The officer taking the report was sympathetic. Ma'am, I've seen this before. It starts with one hit. Escalates from there. You did the right thing coming forward. I'm not pressing charges. Just documenting. In case. Understood. But I strongly recommend a restraining order. For your safety. I'll think about it. After the police station, we went to see a lawyer. Friend from medical school. Specialized in family law. Vanessa, based on what you've told me, you have grounds for divorce. And custody. I don't want custody. I want my baby to have a father. Even if that father's violent. He's not violent. Not normally. This was one time. This time. What about next time? The lawyer, Amanda Foster, laid out Vanessa's options. File for divorce now. Get a restraining order. Establish separation before the baby's born. That way, custody is easy to determine. What if I want to try counseling? Work on the marriage? You can, but document everything. Keep records. If it doesn't work, you have evidence. What about the baby? Will Troy get rights? He's the father. He'll get visitation, at minimum. Unless you can prove he's dangerous. Then supervised visitation only. Vanessa looked overwhelmed. This is too much. I can't make these decisions right now. Take time. Think. But don't wait too long. The longer you stay in danger, the harder it gets to leave. We left Amanda's office. Drove back to my apartment. Vanessa was quiet. Processing. That afternoon, Troy showed up, somehow found my address. Pounded on the door. Vanessa, I know you're in there. Open up. I looked at Vanessa. Stay in the bedroom. Lock the door. I opened my door. Stepped outside. Closed it behind me. Troy was disheveled. Unshaven. Eyes wild. Where is she? She doesn't want to see you. She's my wife. I have a right to see her. You have no rights. Not after what you did. What I did? What about what she did? Disrespecting me. Arguing. Challenging every decision I make. That's called having a conversation. Not disrespect. You don't understand marriage. You're not even in a relationship. You have no idea what it's like. I know hitting your pregnant wife isn't normal, isn't acceptable. It was one time, one mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. And now there are consequences. She's safe, away from you. That's how it's staying. Troy stepped closer. Aggressive. You're going to regret this. Both of you. I'll make sure of it. Is that a threat? It's a promise. I pulled out my phone. Showed him I was recording. Say that again. For the record. Troy lunged. Tried to grab my phone. I sidestepped. Back toward my door. You're on camera. Building security. Every move recorded. Think carefully about your next move. He froze. Looked up. Saw the security camera. His face twisted with rage. But he stepped back. This isn't over. Tell Vanessa I want to talk. Like adults. Work this out. She'll reach out if and when she's ready. She better do it soon, or I'm coming back. And next time, cameras won't stop me. He left. I went inside, shaking with adrenaline. Vanessa was in the living room, pale, scared. You heard? Every word. Daniel, he's escalating. This is getting dangerous. I know, which is why you're staying here. And we're filing that restraining order. Today, we went back to the police station. Filed for a temporary restraining order. Judge approved it within hours. Troy was served that evening. By the next morning, he'd violated it. Showed up at Vanessa's law firm. Demanded to see her. Security had to remove him. The firm called me. Dr. Wright, your sister isn't here. But Troy came looking for her. We called police. He's been arrested for violating the restraining order. Thank you for protecting her. Of course. But Dr. Wright, she needs to take legal action. Press charges. This man is dangerous. I agreed. Told Vanessa what happened. He's in jail for violating the order. This is serious. This is your chance to press charges. Make this permanent. She was crying. I never wanted this. Never wanted him arrested. He did this to himself. By hitting you. By threatening us. By refusing to respect boundaries. What if he gets out? What if he comes after me? Then we'll be ready. We'll protect you. But Vanessa, you have to help yourself too. You have to press charges. Make it clear this behavior has consequences. She finally agreed. Filed formal charges. Domestic violence. Assault. Violating protective order. Troy's bail hearing was the next day. He was denied bail. Judge considered him a flight risk and danger to Vanessa. He'd be held until trial. Vanessa had breathing room. Time to think. Time to heal. Time to decide her future. Over the next few weeks, she started therapy. Processing the abuse. Understanding patterns. Recognizing red flags she'd missed. Troy was always controlling, she told me one evening. From the beginning, I just thought it was him caring, being protective. That's how it starts, disguised as love. He isolated me from friends, said they were bad influences, that they didn't understand our relationship. Classic abuser tactic. He controlled our money, said he was better at finances, that I should focus on my career and he'd handle the rest. Financial abuse. He criticized my appearance, my weight, my clothes, said it was helpful, making me better. Emotional abuse. I can't believe I didn't see it. I'm a lawyer. I handle these cases. How did I miss it in my own life? Because you loved him. Because abuse is insidious. It creeps in slowly. By the time you realize what's happening, you're trapped. How do I make sure I never do this again? Never fall for another abuser? You learn. You heal. You establish boundaries. You trust your instincts. And you have people like me watching your back. Troy's trial was scheduled for 3 months later. Plenty of time for Vanessa to prepare, to strengthen her case, to plan her future. But 2 weeks before trial, something happened. Our parents called a family meeting. We need to talk about Troy, about Vanessa, about this whole situation. We met at their house. Mom, Dad, Marcus, Vanessa, and me. No Troy, obviously. He was still in jail. We've been thinking, My mother started. About everything that's happened. About the charges. About the trial. Okay, I said cautiously. We think Vanessa should drop the charges. Silence. Then, excuse me? Troy made a mistake. One mistake. He doesn't deserve to have his life ruined. He hit her. He threatened us. He violated a restraining order. Those aren't mistakes. Those are crimes. He's family. Vanessa's husband. The father of her baby. We should support them. Help them work it out. Work it out? Mom, did you see her face? The bruises? The split lip? I know it looked bad, but Troy apologized. He's in counseling. He's changed. How do you know he's changed? He's been in jail for 2 months. We've been visiting him. He's different, calmer, remorseful. He wanted another chance. I looked at my father. Dad, tell me you don't agree with this. He wouldn't meet my eyes. It's Vanessa's decision. But your mother has a point. Troy is family. Divorce would devastate him, ruin his reputation, make it hard for him to find work. And keeping him around might kill Vanessa. Have you thought about that? You're being dramatic. Am I? 1 in 3 women murdered by intimate partners were killed by someone they tried to leave. Those aren't my statistics. Those are facts. My mother dismissed this. That won't happen. Troy isn't a murderer. How do you know? You didn't think he was an abuser either. Yet here we are. Vanessa had been quiet. Now she spoke. I'm not dropping the charges. Sweetheart, think about your baby. Don't you want your child to have a father? Not a violent father. Not someone who thinks hitting is acceptable. Not someone who makes me afraid. You're overreacting. Troy loves you. Love doesn't look like this. She pointed to her fading bruises. Love doesn't hit, doesn't threaten, doesn't control. You're being selfish, thinking only of yourself, not your marriage, not your family. My family? You mean the family that wanted to go back to my abuser? That family? My mother's face reddened. Don't be disrespectful. We're trying to help. Help? This isn't help. This is enabling. This is prioritizing Troy's reputation over my safety. The argument escalated. My parents insisted Vanessa was overreacting. That Troy deserved forgiveness. That family sticks together. Marcus and I defended Vanessa, argued that safety came first. That abuse was unforgivable. The meeting ended badly. Vanessa left crying. I followed her to my car. I can't believe them, she said, taking a side, making me the villain. They're in denial. Protecting the image of our perfect family. Can't admit one of us married an abuser. They made me feel crazy. Like I'm imagining things. Like it wasn't that bad. That's gaslighting. Don't let them rewrite history. You know what happened. You have evidence. Photos. Police reports. Medical records. But what if they're right? What if I am overreacting? Vanessa, look at me. You're not overreacting. You're protecting yourself and your baby. That's not selfishness. That's survival. She nodded, but I could see the doubt. The damage our parents' words had caused. Over the next week, my parents ramped up pressure, called Vanessa daily, guilt her, manipulated her, told her she was destroying the family, that she was being vindictive, that Troy was suffering. Marcus and I countered, reminded her the truth, supported her decisions, reinforced that she was doing the right thing. But the pressure was taking its toll. Vanessa started doubting herself, questioning everything, wondering if maybe Troy had changed, if maybe she should give him another chance. He's writing me letters, she told me, from jail, apologizing, promising to be better, saying he'll do whatever it takes. Of course he is. He's facing prison time. He'll say anything to avoid consequences. But what if he means it? Vanessa, abusers always apologize, always promise to change. How many times have you heard that in your legal career? Hundreds. But this feels different. He seems genuine. They always seem genuine. That's how they keep you trapped, by making you believe change is possible. But people can change, right? With therapy, with consequences, with motivation. Some people But Troy hasn't shown real change. He's shown performance. Saying what you want to hear. That's manipulation, not transformation. I'm just so tired. Tired of fighting. Tired of being strong. Tired of everyone having an opinion about my life. I know, but you can't give up now. You've come so far. Build a case. Establish safety. Don't throw that away because people are pressuring you. What if I'm making a mistake? What if dropping charges is the right thing? Then you'll regret it within months, when he hits you again, when the pattern repeats, when you realize nothing actually changed. She didn't respond, just stared out the window, lost in thought, torn between survival and surrender. The trial date approached. Troy's lawyer tried negotiating. Drop the charges. Troy will agree to anger management, counseling, probation, but no jail time, no criminal record. Vanessa's lawyer recommended against it. He needs consequences. Real ones. Prison time. Permanent record. Otherwise, he'll do this again. But Vanessa was wavering. Maybe a deal isn't bad. He gets help. I get safety. Nobody goes to prison. Except prison is a consequence that might actually change behavior, or at least keep him away from you. I don't want him in prison. I just want him to stop hurting me. Those things are connected. Prison removes his access, ensures your safety, forces him to face consequences. 3 days before trial, Vanessa made a decision. She called me late at night. I'm dropping the charges. What? No. Vanessa, don't do this. I've thought about it. Really thought about it. I can't send my baby's father to prison. Can't do that to my child. You're not sending him to prison. He sent himself there. By hitting you. By violating the restraining order. I know, but I have to try. Have to give him one more chance. For the baby. This isn't about the baby. This is about fear. About pressure from our parents. About exhaustion. Maybe, but it's my decision. I'm dropping the charges. He'll do counseling. Probation. Stay away from me. That's enough. It's not enough, but I can't stop you. Just promise me something. What? If he hurts you again, when he hurts you again, you call me immediately. No hiding. No protecting him. You call. I promise. She dropped the charges the next morning. Troy was released within hours. Immediately started calling, texting, wanting to see Vanessa. Talk. Reconcile. She agreed to meet. In public. At a coffee shop. With me present. Troy arrived looking different. Thinner. Tired. Humbled. Vanessa, thank you for giving me another chance. I won't waste it. I've changed. Really changed. We'll see. I've been in counseling. Every day. Working on myself. Understanding why I got so angry. So controlling. Okay. The counselor says I have unresolved trauma. From childhood. My father was abusive. I learned bad patterns. But I'm breaking them. I promise. He sounded sincere. Looked sincere. But I'd heard this before. From patients. From case studies. Abusers were excellent actors. What's your plan? I asked. For what? For proving you've changed. For regaining Vanessa's trust. For being safe. I'll do whatever she needs. Whatever makes her comfortable. Counseling. Check-ins. Distance. Anything. And if you mess up, if you lose your temper again, what then? It won't happen. But if it does, Troy looked at Vanessa. Then I'll turn myself in. Accept full consequences. No excuses. No second chances. I want that in writing, I said. Daniel, Vanessa started. No, if he's serious, he'll put it in writing. Legal contract. Witnessed. Binding. Troy agreed. We drafted it right there. On a napkin. Then went to Amanda's office. Had it formalized. Notarized. Legal. If Troy Harrison commits any act of violence, intimidation, or control toward Vanessa Wright Harrison, he will voluntarily surrender to authorities and plead guilty to assault charges. No contest. No appeal. Troy signed. Vanessa signed. I witnessed. It was done. Troy had one chance. One mistake would send him to prison. No negotiation. Vanessa moved back home 2 weeks later. Against my advice. Against Amanda's advice. But it was her choice. Her life. Her risk. I made her promise to stay in contact. Daily check-ins. Any sign of trouble, she'd leave immediately. The first month was okay. Troy was on his best behavior. Attentive. Helpful. Calm. No fights. No incidents. Vanessa started to relax. Started to believe maybe he really had changed. But I stayed vigilant. Watched for patterns. For red flags. For signs the mask was slipping. 3 months after Vanessa moved back, I got a concerning call. From Marcus. Daniel, we need to talk. About Troy. About something I discovered. What did you discover? I was helping Vanessa move some boxes last week. Found Troy's laptop. Open. Logged in. Couldn't help but look. And he's been messaging someone. A woman named Paige. Inappropriate messages. Flirty. Sexual. Planning to meet. Are you sure? I have screenshots. Sent them to my email before Troy came home. Send them to me. Now. The screenshots were damning. Troy and this Paige woman. Planning a meeting. A hotel. While Vanessa was pregnant. 7 months now. Does Vanessa know? I asked. Not yet. I wanted to tell you first. Figure out how to handle this. We confront him. Show Vanessa. End the charade. What if we're wrong? What if there's an explanation? There's no innocent explanation for planning a hotel meetup with another woman. This is cheating. Emotional at minimum. Probably physical. We decided to investigate first. Marcus followed Troy. Documented where he went. Who he met. 3 days later, Troy met Paige at a hotel. Checked in. Stayed 2 hours. Emerged looking satisfied. Marcus photographed everything. Timestamps. License plates. The hotel registry. We had proof. Undeniable proof. I called Vanessa. We need to talk. In person. It's important. She came to my apartment. 7 months pregnant. Glowing. Happy. Believing her marriage was working. I hated what I was about to do. But she needed to know. Vanessa, there's no easy way to say this. Troy is cheating on you. What? No. You're wrong. He wouldn't. I showed her the screenshots. The photographs. The hotel records. Everything. Her face crumbled. The hope died in her eyes. He promised. He said he'd change. He signed a contract. And he broke it, not with violence, but with betrayal, with lies, with proof he hasn't changed at all. Maybe it's not what it looks like. Maybe this woman is a co-worker, a friend. Friends don't meet at hotels. 4 2-hour afternoon visits, while their wives are pregnant at home. She started crying, deep broken sobs. I was so stupid, so desperate to believe, to make it work, for the baby, for the family. You're not stupid. You're human. You wanted to believe love could conquer everything. But love isn't enough when the other person is fundamentally broken. What do I do now? You leave, for real this time. File for divorce. Get full custody. Protect yourself and your baby. I'm 7 months pregnant. Where do I go? How do I start over? You come here. Stay with me. Until the baby's born. Until you're stable. I'll help you. We all will. She agreed. Packed while Troy was at work. Took essentials. Left a note. I know about Paige. About the hotel. About your lies. Don't contact me. My lawyer will be in touch. Troy came home to an empty house. Called immediately. Vanessa didn't answer. He called me. Where is she? What did you do? I didn't do anything. You did. With Paige. At that hotel. Silence. Then, who told you about that? Does it matter? You cheated. While your pregnant wife was at home. Believing you'd changed. It wasn't like that. Paige is just a friend. We were talking. For 2 hours. In a hotel room. Sure. I didn't sleep with her. I swear. We just talked. About my problems. About everything I'm going through. And you couldn't talk to your wife? Your counselor? Had to rent a hotel room. You're twisting this, making it sound worse than it was. Then what was it? Explain it in a way that doesn't sound like cheating. He couldn't, because there was no innocent explanation. Where's Vanessa? He asked again. Safe. Away from you. That's all you need to know. I have a right to see my wife. You have no rights. You broke the contract. The agreement. Everything. What contract? The one where any violation sends you to prison. Cheating is emotional abuse. Betrayal is violence. You violated it. That's not what the contract said. The contract said no violence, intimidation, or control. Cheating on your pregnant wife is all three. It's psychological violence. It's intimidation through betrayal. It's control through deception. You're insane. That's not legally binding. Want to test it? Amanda thinks it is. She's filing breach of contract, plus divorce, plus custody petition. Troy's voice turned cold. You're going to regret this. Turning my wife against me. Poisoning her mind. Breaking up my family. You broke up your family. By hitting her. By cheating. By lying. This is all you. I'll fight the divorce. Fight for custody. Make sure she gets nothing. Good luck with that. You have a domestic violence conviction on your record. Oh, wait, you don't. Because she dropped the charges. Gave you mercy. And you repaid her with betrayal. Tell Vanessa I love her. That I'm sorry. That I want to work this out. Tell her yourself. Through your lawyer. Because that's the only communication you're getting. I hung up. Troy tried calling Vanessa repeatedly. She blocked his number. He tried showing up at my apartment. I'd anticipated that. Had building security stop him. Trespassing. He tried calling our parents. They took his side. Again. Daniel, you're destroying Troy's life. Vanessa's marriage. The baby's family. Troy destroyed all of that himself. He made a mistake. Had coffee with a female friend. That's not cheating. They were at a hotel for 2 hours. That's not coffee. You're assuming the worst. Maybe they really were just talking. And maybe you're enabling an abuser, choosing his lies over your daughter's safety. We're choosing family unity, something you clearly don't value. I value honesty, truth, protection, things you've forgotten. The relationship with my parents deteriorated. They stopped calling, stopped inviting me to family events, chose Troy over their own children. Marcus sided with me, and Vanessa stood firm against the pressure. They're delusional, he said, rewriting history, making Troy the victim. It's easier than admitting they were wrong, that they pushed Vanessa back into danger. What do? We protect Vanessa, help her through the divorce, make sure she and the baby are safe. That's all that matters. Vanessa went into labor a month later, 8 months pregnant, stress-induced early labor. I drove her to the hospital, stayed through the entire delivery, 16 hours. She wanted me there, wanted support, wanted family she could trust. The baby was born healthy. A girl, 7 pounds. Perfect. Vanessa named her Hope, because that's what she represents. Hope for a better future. Hope that I can do better. Be better. Troy heard about the birth, showed up at the hospital, demanded to see his daughter. Security stopped him. I'm her father. I have rights. You're also served with a restraining order. Filed this morning. You can't be within 500 feet of mother or child. This is illegal. You can't keep me from my daughter. Take it up with the judge. Until then, stay away. Troy left, angry, threatening, but legally blocked. Vanessa was safe. Hope was safe. For now, we brought them home to my apartment. Set up a nursery in the guest room. Vanessa was exhausted, overwhelmed, but determined. I'm going to be a good mother. Give Hope everything, Troy. And I never had. Safety, stability, love without conditions. You will. You already are. Thank you for being here. For everything. I couldn't have survived this without you. That's what family does. Real family. The kind that protects instead of enables. The divorce proceeded. Troy fought everything. Custody, child support, asset division. But the evidence was overwhelming. The abuse, the cheating, the violations. Judge ruled in Vanessa's favor. Full custody. Supervised visitation only. Child support of $2,000 monthly. Vanessa got the house, the car, most assets. Troy got anger management requirements, mandatory counseling, probation. This is a clear case of domestic abuse. The judge said, Mr. Harrison showed a pattern of violence, manipulation, and betrayal. Mrs. Wright deserves protection. The child deserves safety. This ruling reflects that. Troy appealed, lost, appealed again, lost again, finally accepted defeat. But he didn't accept responsibility. Blamed everyone else. Me especially. Daniel Wright destroyed my life, turned my wife against me, poisoned my family, made me lose everything. He started a blog, posting his version of events, making himself the victim, Vanessa the villain, me the manipulator. It gained some traction. People who didn't know the truth, who believed his lies, who saw him as a wronged husband. The blog posts escalated. Accusations, threats veiled as venting, concerning content. I reported the blog to police, showed them the threatening language, the obsessive focus on Vanessa, the veiled violence. We'll monitor it, they said, but unless he makes explicit threats, there's not much we can do. He's obsessing over my sister, his ex-wife, the mother of his child. That's stalking. Online posting isn't stalking. Not legally. If he shows up in person, violates a restraining order, that's different. So we wait until he does something? Until someone gets hurt? We'll keep watch. But our hands are tied. Frustrating, but expected. The system only reacted after violence, not before. I hired private security to watch my apartment, to escort Vanessa when she went out, to ensure Hope was safe. Expensive, but necessary. Troy noticed, posted about it on his blog. They have private security, like I'm some dangerous criminal. All because I fought for my family. All because I refused to give up on my marriage. The comments were split. Some supported him, called Vanessa names, called me controlling. Others saw through it, recognized the manipulation, called him out. This sounds like an abuser refusing to take responsibility. Classic narcissist behavior, blaming everyone else. I hope his ex-wife is safe. This blog is terrifying. Troy responded to critical comments with anger, blocked people, deleted posts, then reposted with different wording. More careful, more strategic. He was learning, adapting, becoming more dangerous. 6 months after the divorce, Troy lost his job. Construction management company fired him due to concerning online behavior and customer complaints. Without income, he couldn't pay child support, fell behind. Judge issued a warrant for his arrest. Mr. Harrison, you're in contempt of court. Failure to pay court-ordered child support. I don't have a job. I can't pay. You can find employment. Many people manage to pay support while working minimum wage. I'm not working minimum wage. I have a degree, experience. I deserve better. What you deserve is irrelevant. What you owe is the issue. Pay your support or face jail time. Troy chose neither. Instead, he disappeared. Left town. Stopped posting on his blog. Stopped showing up to supervised visitations. Just vanished. Police couldn't find him. Warrants were issued, but he was gone. Is this good or bad? Vanessa asked. Good. He can't hurt you if he's hiding. Bad. We don't know where he is, what he's planning, whether he'll come back. Should I be worried? Always be cautious, but don't live in fear. That's letting him win. Months passed. No sign of Troy. Life normalized. Vanessa got stronger. Hope grew. Learned to crawl, to laugh, to say, Mama. I returned to work full-time. Our shifts, saving lives, making a difference, but always with my phone nearby, always ready to respond if Vanessa needed me. One evening, exactly 1 year after Hope was born, My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered cautiously. Hello? Daniel? It's Troy. My blood went cold. Where are you? Doesn't matter. I'm calling to apologize. For everything. I've been in therapy. Real therapy. Working on myself. Understanding what I did wrong. Okay. I know I can't undo the past. Can't change what happened. But I wanted you to know I'm different now. Better. Why are you telling me this? Because I want to see Hope. My daughter. I've missed a year of her life. I want to be part of it. You have warrants. Child support arrears. You can't just come back and demand visitation. I know. I'm working on it. Getting a job. Saving money. Planning to pay everything I owe. And then what? Then I want to be a father. A real father. Not the monster you made me out to be. I didn't make you anything. You showed us who you were. I showed you my worst. My trauma. My brokenness. But that's not all I am. I'm also capable of growth. Change. Redemption. Redemption requires more than words. Requires consistent action over time. I know. That's why I'm calling. To start. To show I'm serious. Start by turning yourself in. Handling the warrants. Paying what you owe. Then we'll talk about visitation. I can't turn myself in. I'll go to jail. You should have thought about that before running. Please, just tell Vanessa I'm sorry. That I love her. That I want to be part of Hope's life. Tell her yourself. Through proper legal channels. I hung up, immediately called Vanessa. Troy just called me. What? How did he get your number? I don't know, but he's asking about Hope. Wants visitation. No, absolutely not. He abandoned her. Disappeared for a year. He doesn't get to come back now. That's what I told him. But he claims he's changed. Getting help. Working on himself. They always claim that. It's never true. I know, but we need to be prepared. If he turns himself in, pays his arrears, he might get visitation rights. Over my dead body. Vanessa, the court might not give you a choice. He's the biological father. If he shows genuine effort, demonstrates change, they could grant supervised visits. Then I'll fight it. Get lawyers. Do whatever it takes. We will, but prepare yourself. Troy's back, and he's not going away quietly. Over the next month, Troy made his presence known, called repeatedly, sent letters, reached out to our parents, tried to rebuild his image. Our parents bought it. Troy's changed. He's getting help. He deserves a chance to be a father. He had chances, wasted them, beat his wife, cheated, abandoned his child. People make mistakes. Deserve forgiveness. Not when those mistakes include violence and neglect. My parents started pressuring Vanessa again. Let Troy see Hope. Just once. Supervised. What's the harm? The harm is teaching Hope that fathers can disappear and come back whenever convenient. That abandonment is acceptable. You're being unreasonable. I'm being protective. There's a difference. Troy hired a lawyer. Filed for visitation rights. Mr. Harrison has completed anger management, substance abuse counseling, parenting classes. He's employed, paying child support. He meets all requirements for visitation. The court scheduled a hearing. Both sides presented arguments. Troy's lawyer painted him as a reformed man, victim of circumstances, wanting to be a father, a man to counter with history, the abuse, the cheating, the abandonment, the year-long disappearance. Your Honor, Mr. Harrison has shown a pattern. Violence, deception, abandonment. He doesn't deserve unsupervised access to this child. But he's the father. He has rights. Rights that should be contingent on safety, on stability, on proving long-term change. The judge deliberated. I'm granting supervised visitation, 2 hours weekly, in a neutral location, with a court-appointed supervisor. We'll review in 6 months. If Mr. Harrison maintains employment, pays support, and shows appropriate behavior, we'll consider expanding visitation. Vanessa was devastated. I have to let him see her. After everything he did, after abandoning her for a year. It's supervised. He can't hurt her. Can't take her. It's the best we could hope for given the circumstances. I don't want her anywhere near him. I know, but we have to comply. Otherwise, you risk losing custody entirely. The first visit was scheduled. I went with Vanessa, provided support, moral backup. Troy arrived looking different. Clean, sober, calm, wearing normal clothes, acting like a regular dad. Vanessa, thank you for this, for giving me a chance. She didn't respond, just handed Hope to the supervisor. The supervisor took Hope into a playroom. Troy followed. Vanessa and I watched through one-way glass. Troy was gentle with Hope, talked to her, played appropriately, seemed genuinely engaged. He looks good with her, the supervisor commented. Seems natural. Don't be fooled, I said. Abusers are excellent performers. I'm just observing behavior. And right now, his behavior is appropriate. The visit lasted 2 hours. Troy didn't push boundaries. Didn't try to take Hope. Just played. Talked. Was present. At the end, he handed Hope back. Thank you. This meant everything. I promise I'll be consistent. Show up every week. Prove I've changed. Vanessa said nothing. Just took Hope. Left. In the car, she broke down. I hated every second. Watching him with her. Acting like a normal father. Like nothing happened. I know, but you got through it. And Hope's safe. That's what matters. What if he's really changed? What if I'm being unfair? Vanessa, don't do this. Don't rewrite history. Don't let one good visit erase years of abuse. But what if the courts are right? What if he deserves a relationship with his daughter? Deserve is earned, not granted. One visit doesn't prove change. Consistency over years proves change. How long do we have to do this? Watch him play father? Pretend everything's okay? Until Hope is old enough to decide for herself. Or until Troy violates something. Whichever comes first. Troy maintained his visits. Every week. 2 hours. Always appropriate. Always supervised. Never crossing boundaries. After 3 months, his lawyer petitioned for expanded visitation. Mr. Harrison has been compliant. Consistent. Appropriate. He's requesting 4-hour visits. Still supervised. But longer. Amanda fought it, but the judge agreed. Mr. Harrison has demonstrated responsibility. I'm granting 4-hour supervised visits. Bi-weekly. We'll review in 3 months. The visits expanded. Troy seemed to be proving everyone wrong. Showing real change. Even the supervisor was impressed. Mr. Harrison is an engaged father. Attentive. Patient. Good with Hope. I see no red flags. But I saw something the supervisor didn't. Small things. The way Troy looked at Vanessa. Possessive. Angry. The way he asked questions. Probing. Gathering information. How's work, Vanessa? Still at the firm? Yes. Good money? Enough to support Hope. We're fine. Living with Daniel still? Or did you get your own place? That's none of your concern. Just making conversation. Making sure my daughter has stability. The questions seemed innocent, but they weren't. Troy was gathering intelligence. Planning something. I started documenting. Every question. Every look. Every interaction. Building evidence for when Troy's mask slipped. Because it would slip. Eventually, 6 months after visit started, Troy's lawyer filed for joint custody. Mr. Harrison has proven himself. Maintained employment. Paid support. Completed all requirements. He's requesting 50 to 50 custody. Alternating weeks. Amanda opposed strenuously. Your Honor, 6 months of good behavior doesn't erase years of abuse. Doesn't prove lasting change. Joint custody will be dangerous. Mr. Harrison has met every requirement. Exceeded expectations. Unless you have evidence of current danger, I'm inclined to grant this. We have evidence of pattern behavior, of manipulation, of calculated performance. Pattern behavior from the past. I need evidence of current danger. Amanda had none. The supervised visits had all been appropriate. No violations. No red flags documented. The judge ruled joint custody, alternating weeks, starting in 30 days, giving both parties time to adjust. Vanessa was in shock. He gets her half the time? Unsupervised? After everything? I'm sorry. The law favors father's rights. Troy played the system perfectly. What do I do? Document everything. Stay vigilant. At the first sign of danger, we file for emergency custody modification. And if something happens to Hope before then, we pray it doesn't. And we prepare for every contingency. The first custody exchange was tense. Troy arrived at the designated meeting point, a police station, neutral territory. Hey, Vanessa, thanks for being on time. She handed Hope over with a bag of supplies, clothes, diapers, food. She needs to eat every 3 hours. Nap at 1, bedtime at 7. Any questions, call me. I've got it. I'm her father. I know how to take care of her. You haven't taken care of her for 2 years. You don't know her routine, her preferences, her needs. I'll figure out. Relax. Vanessa watched Troy buckle Hope into his car, drive away with her daughter. She broke down crying. What if he hurts her? What if he disappears with her? What if something happens? He won't. He's being watched, tracked, GPS on his car, monitoring app on his phone. We'll know if he goes anywhere unexpected. That's not legal. It is if it's his car insurance tracker. And his phone monitoring is voluntary, part of his custody agreement fine print. You're devious. I'm thorough. There's a difference. The week dragged. Vanessa called Troy multiple times, checking on Hope. She's fine. Stop hovering. I'm her mother. I'm allowed to check. You're being controlling. Trust me. Trust you? After everything? I've changed. When will you believe that? When you prove it. Consistently. For years. Troy sent photos. Hope playing. Smiling. Looking happy. Everything seemed fine. But something felt off. On day 6, I got a call from the monitoring service. Dr. Wright, Troy Harrison's car has been at a shopping mall for 4 hours. With a toddler. That's concerning. Where exactly? Riverside Mall. Food court area. Not moving. I called Troy. No answer. Called again. Voicemail. I drove to the mall. Found Troy's car. Empty. Searched inside. Found them at a restaurant. Troy, Hope, and Paige. The woman from the hotel. The affair. They were sitting together. Playing family. Hope calling Paige mama. My blood boiled. I approached. What's going on here? Troy looked up. Guilty. Daniel, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? What are you doing here? With her? With Hope? We're just having lunch. Paige wanted to meet my daughter. Paige has no right to meet Hope. No relationship. No place in this situation. She's important to me. Part of my life. Hope should know her. Hope should know her mother, not your mistress. Paige spoke up. I'm not a mistress. Troy and I are together. Have been for a year. I'm going to be part of Hope's life. Over my dead body. I call Vanessa immediately. Get Amanda. File emergency custody modification. Troy's at the mall with Paige and Hope, introducing his affair partner to your daughter, without permission. What? He said he'd never see her again. He lied. Surprise. Vanessa and Amanda filed within hours. Emergency hearing scheduled for the next morning. That evening, Troy brought Hope back, acting like nothing happened. She had a great week. Can't wait for next time. There won't be a next time. We're filing for emergency custody modification. You violated the agreement. What agreement? The custody terms. No introducing Hope to romantic partners without prior approval. You introduced her Paige. That wasn't romantic. Paige is a friend. A friend you cheated with. A friend you're in a relationship with. Don't insult my intelligence. You're overreacting, making something out of nothing. We'll let the judge decide. The emergency hearing was intense. Amanda presented evidence. Photos of Troy, Paige, and Hope together. Witness testimony from me. Proof of deception. Troy's lawyer argued it was innocent. My client has moved on, found happiness. Ms. Mitchell is a positive influence. Stable, employed, good with children. Ms. Mitchell is also the woman Mr. Harrison cheated with, the woman who helped destroy his marriage. She has no place near this child. That's prejudicial. Ms. Mitchell isn't on trial, but Mr. Harrison's judgment is. And introducing his daughter to his affair partner shows terrible judgment. The judge agreed. Mr. Harrison, you violated the custody agreement. Introducing Hope to a romantic partner requires prior discussion and approval. You did neither. Your Honor, I thought, what you thought is irrelevant. What you did violated the order. I'm modifying custody. Back to supervised visitation. For hours weekly. No overnight visits. No unsupervised contact. That's not fair. It's fair based on your violation. Prove you can follow rules. Then we'll discuss expanding visitation again. Troy was furious. Blamed me. Blamed Vanessa. Blamed everyone but himself. That night, he posted on his blog, resuming after months of silence. The system is rigged. They took my daughter. Again, because I dare to find happiness. Because I dare to move on. This isn't about Hope's safety. It's about control. About punishing me for leaving Vanessa. The post gained traction. Comments flooded in. This is parental alienation. Fathers have rights. The system discriminates against men. But others saw through it. You violated a court order. That's on you. You introduced your daughter to your mistress. What did you expect? Stop playing victim. Take responsibility. Troy's anger grew. His post became darker. More threatening. More concerning. If they think they can keep me from my daughter, they're wrong. I'll do whatever it takes. Whatever is necessary. They'll regret this. I reported the blog post to police again. This time, they took it seriously. These read like threats. Veiled, but present. We'll investigate. Can you arrest him? Not yet, but we'll monitor. If he makes explicit threats or attempts contact, we'll act. 2 weeks later, Troy showed up at Vanessa's house. The house she'd finally moved back into. Alone with Hope. He pounded on the door. Vanessa, open up. We need to talk. She called 911. My ex-husband is here, violating the restraining order. I need police. Stay inside. Lock the doors. Police are on the way. Troy heard sirens, ran to his car, drove away before police arrived. Did you see him? Officers asked. Yes, he was here, pounding on the door, demanding to talk. We'll put out an alert, find him, arrest him for violation. Troy was arrested an hour later, at Page's apartment, charged with violating restraining order, held without bail. Mr. Harrison, you violated court orders repeatedly, shown disregard for rules, demonstrated threatening behavior. You're a danger to Ms. Wright. You'll remain in custody until trial. Troy's mask finally came off completely. In court, he yelled, threatened, showed his true nature. This is ridiculous. I just want to talk, to see my daughter. They're keeping her from me. You violated a protective order. That's a crime. Because they're controlling, manipulating, turning Hope against me. Your daughter is 2 years old. She can't be turned against anyone. You're doing this to yourself. Troy lunged toward Vanessa. Guards restrained him, removed him from the courtroom. The judge was shaken. Ms. Wright, I apologize. I should have seen this sooner. Should have protected you better. It's not your fault. Troy's an excellent manipulator. He fooled everyone. I'm terminating his parental rights. Effective immediately. He's shown himself dangerous, unstable, unfit. Can you do that? I can when a parent demonstrates clear danger. Today, prove that. Troy Harrison will have no legal relationship with Hope. No visitation. No custody. No rights. Vanessa cried, relief flooding through her. Thank you. After the hearing, Amanda explained what happened. Troy's outburst sealed his fate, showed the judge who he really is. Hope is safe now. Permanently. What about Troy? What happens to him? Prison. Violation of protective order. Threatening behavior. Assault attempt. He's looking at 2 years minimum. And after that, he's barred from contact. If he tries, he goes back to prison. He's done. Finished. Vanessa hugged me. We're really free. Really safe. This nightmare is actually over. It is. You survived. Hope is protected. You can finally breathe. Because of you. Because you saw what I couldn't see. Because you never gave up protecting us. That's what family does. Real family. Troy was sentenced to 3 years in prison, with mandatory counseling, restraining order extended permanently. His parental rights were terminated. Legally, Hope had no father. Vanessa could raise her without interference, without fear, without constantly looking over her shoulder. Life normalized. Vanessa thrived, got promoted at work, moved to a better neighborhood, started dating again, carefully, slowly. I'm not rushing into anything, learning from my mistakes, watching for red flags. Good. Take your time. Focus on hope, on yourself. I am, and it feels amazing, being independent, being safe, being me again. Hope grew, started talking more, walking confidently, becoming her own person. She asked about her father once. Where's my daddy? Vanessa answered honestly, age-appropriately. Your daddy made bad choices. He's not safe to be around, but you have people who love you. Uncle Daniel, Uncle Marcus, Grandma and Grandpa are coming around. You're not missing anything. Slowly, our parents realized their mistake, saw how they'd enabled Troy, how they prioritized image over safety. They apologized. To Vanessa, to me, to Marcus. We were wrong. So wrong. We should have protected you, believed you, supported your decision. Instead, we made it harder. Why didn't you? Vanessa asked. Pride, fear, not wanting to admit we'd welcomed an abuser into our family, not wanting to accept that our judgment was that flawed. It took Hope being in danger for you to see it. We know. We're sorry. We can't change the past. But we want to be better moving forward. It took time, but relationships slowly healed. Not back to what they were, but different, honest, based on truth instead of pretense. I returned fully to my ER work. Saved lives. Made a difference. But I'd learned something important. Sometimes saving lives happens outside the hospital. Sometimes it happens by protecting family, by exposing abusers, by refusing to accept lies and manipulation. 2 years after Troy's sentencing, I got a letter from him in prison. Daniel, I know you hate me. I deserve it, but I wanted you to know something. You were right about everything. I was abusive, controlling, manipulative. I destroyed everything good in my life because I couldn't control my anger, couldn't accept that Vanessa deserved better. Therapy in here is actually helping. I'm seeing patterns I never saw before, understanding trauma I never processed. I'm not asking for forgiveness. Just wanted you to know you saved Vanessa's life, Hope's life, maybe even mine, by stopping me before I did something truly unforgivable. Thank you, Troy. I didn't respond. Didn't need to. The letter was for him, his healing, his process, not mine. 3 years after the initial family dinner, I was back at Romano's, but this time was different. Vanessa was there. Hope was there. Marcus was there. Our parents were there. And Vanessa's new boyfriend, Andrew, a teacher, kind, patient, respectful, everything Troy wasn't. We were celebrating Hope's 3rd birthday. She sat in a high chair, covered in cake, laughing, happy, safe. Uncle Daniel, look, cake. She showed me her messy face. I laughed. I see that. You're wearing more than you're eating. That's how you eat cake. Can't argue with that logic. Andrew watched Vanessa with Hope. You're an amazing mother. Hope is lucky to have you. I'm lucky to have her. She gave me a reason to be strong, to leave, to survive. Daniel told me about what you went through. I can't imagine. I hope you never have to. But thank you for being patient, for understanding why I'm careful, why I ask so many questions, why I need things to move slowly. Take all the time you need. I'm not going anywhere. I watched them, saw genuine care, genuine respect, saw Vanessa relaxed, happy, really happy, not performing, not pretending, just being. After dinner, Vanessa pulled me aside. I wanted to thank you, officially, for everything. You've thanked me 100 times, and I'll thank you 100 more. You saved my life, Daniel. Literally, if you hadn't noticed the signs, hadn't investigated, hadn't protected me, I'd probably be dead right now. Don't say that. It's true. Troy was escalating. The violence would have gotten worse. Much worse. You stopped it before it became lethal. I'm just glad you're safe. That Hope's safe. That you're both thriving. We're more than thriving. We're actually living. Not just surviving. Living. Building a real life. With real love. Real safety. She hugged me. You showed me what real family looks like. What real love does. It protects. It fights. It never gives up. Even when it's hard. Even when everyone else says to stop. That's what brothers do. No, that's what heroes do. You're my hero, Daniel. Always will be. Later, as I drove home, I thought about that first family dinner, 3 years ago, when I'd walked into that restaurant exhausted, wanted to be anywhere else, noticing small things that felt wrong. If I'd ignored those signs, if I'd dismissed my instincts, if I'd minded my own business, Vanessa might not be alive today. Hope might not exist, or might be growing up in a violent home, repeating cycles of abuse. But I hadn't ignored it, hadn't dismissed it, hadn't stayed silent. I'd investigated, protected, fought, used every resource, every skill, every connection. And in doing so, I'd saved 2 lives. 3, if you counted Troy from himself. I thought about the title of this chapter of my life. I tried to enjoy one night. Then the truth about my family destroyed everything. But that wasn't quite right. Yes, the truth destroyed things. Destroyed the illusion of a perfect family. Destroyed the pretense that everything was fine. Destroyed relationships with parents who enabled abuse. Destroyed Troy's facade. But it also built things. Built real safety. Built genuine relationships. Built a foundation of truth instead of lies. Build a future where Hope could grow up without fear. The truth didn't destroy everything. It destroyed everything fake, everything toxic, everything dangerous. And what remained was real, raw, honest, painful sometimes. But real. Vanessa was free. Hope was safe. Andrew seemed good. Our parents were learning. Marcus and I were closer than ever. Troy was in prison, getting help. Facing consequences, understanding his damage. Everything had changed. Everything was different. But different wasn't bad. Different was honest. Different was safe. Different was real. I pulled into my driveway, sat in my car for a moment, reflected on the journey. From that first family dinner to now. From suspicion to investigation. From evidence to action. From danger to safety. From broken to healing. I'd walked into that restaurant 3 years ago, wanting a quiet evening. Instead, I got in a family crisis. A brutal truth. A fight for survival. But I wouldn't change it. Wouldn't go back. Because ignoring the truth would have been worse. Staying silent would have been deadly. Sometimes you don't get to choose your battles. Sometimes battles choose you. Sometimes you're just trying to enjoy one night. Then the truth about your family destroys everything. And you have to decide, accept the destruction, protect the lies, maintain the facade, or fight, expose, protect, build something better from ruins. I chose to fight, chose to expose, chose to protect. And because of that choice, Vanessa and Hope were alive, thriving, free. That was worth every destroyed relationship, every difficult conversation, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt. Truth had destroyed everything fake, but it had saved everything real. And in the end, that was all that mattered. I got out of my car, walked into my house, looked at the photos on my wall. Vanessa and Hope, smiling, safe, happy, real. This was what victory looked like. Not perfect, not easy, but real. I poured a glass of whiskey, toasted to truth, to survival, to fighting for what matters even when it costs everything. Because some things are worth fighting for, some people are worth protecting, and some truths are worth destroying everything to expose. Vanessa had tried to enjoy her marriage, tried to make it work, tried to believe love was enough. But love wasn't enough when it was one-sided, when it came with violence, when it hid behind manipulation. I tried to enjoy one family dinner, tried to celebrate my sister's pregnancy, tried to ignore the warning signs. But ignoring them would have killed her. Truth destroyed the illusion, but it saved the person. And that trade, that was worth it, every single time. The truth about my family had destroyed everything. Everything false. Everything dangerous. Everything toxic. And what remained was real, honest, safe, worth fighting for, worth protecting, worth everything.